Welcome back to Justice Under Review. We know you've been waiting, so without further ado, let's dive right into today's story. A courtroom should stand as a beacon of justice, but for Judge Evelyn Hart, it was her twisted empire, rooted in bigotry and driven by avarice. She swung her gavel like a weapon, shattering the futures of the blameless, particularly those whose skin didn't match her own. One ordinary morning, a ragged black man named James Reed stood in front of her, charged with a petty offense. Judge Hart, spotting what she saw as a vulnerable mark, chose to turn him into a spectacle. She belittled him, ridiculed him, and aimed to lock him away for good. What she couldn't fathom was that James Reed wasn't some drifter. He was the FBI director, Ethan Cole, and he wasn't merely facing judgment, he was investigating hers. The atmosphere in courtroom 3B of the downtown Los Angeles courthouse hung heavy, laced with the odor of aged documents, harsh cleaners, and unspoken despair. Overseeing this pit of sorrow was Judge Evelyn Hart, her dark robes absorbing every bit of light and kindness from the space. Her gray hair was yanked into a severe knot, and her expression was etched in perpetual disdain. That day, her temper simmered especially hot. "Mr. Thompson," she exhaled, eyeing a young guy with a clean-cut style and a pricey suit. "This is your second DUI. What's your excuse?" His attorney, a smooth operator named Ellis, rose. "Your Honor, Ryan's a solid young man. He's eyeing a spot in a leadership program with the city council. He just slipped up." "He's a hazard," Hart barked, but her words lacked real fire. "Still, that council program, fine," she struck her gavel. "A $2,500 fine, 100 hours of community service, which I'm betting Mr. Ellis will handle for you, and a 90-day license suspension. Don't show your face here again, Mr. Thompson. You're capable of more." "Thank you, Your Honor," the kid replied, a smug grin creeping across his mouth. "Next case," boomed the bailiff, a hulking figure named Harlan, who echoed the judge's sour vibe. "The People versus James Reed." The room's tension spiked. A side door creaked open, and a deputy shoved a man ahead. He was black, clad in a wrinkled tee, ripped jeans, and a jacket that screamed neglect. His beard was wild, his hair tangled. This was the guy nabbed for lingering in a public park after dark and pushing back against the arrest. Judge Hart's gaze sharpened, her scorn turning to outright hatred. "Well, well, Mr. Reed, stand tall when you're in my court." The man, James Reed, met her eyes, his face blank. "Your public defender is—" "Ah, Mr. Donovan," Hart dismissed with a flick of her wrist. A young, jittery guy named Alex Donovan hustled to the stand. "Your Honor, my client, Mr. Reed, pleads not guilty. We ask for release on his own recognizance, no priors, and the charges are minor." "Minor, Mr. Donovan?" Hart's tone cut like a blade. "Trespassing, resisting Officer Grady. You call that small?" "The resisting bit feels shaky, Your Honor. My client says he only questioned the arrest." Alex shuffled his notes. Hart snorted, a mix of mockery and amusement. She fixed her poisonous stare on the man in the shabby coat. "Mr. Reed, got a job?" James Reed regarded her. His voice came out soft, rough. "I'm between gigs." "Between gigs," Hart jeered. "That's the fancy term for homelessness these days? Where's home?" "Here and there." "I see." Judge Hart leaned in, her grip tight on the gavel. "So a jobless wanderer who defies cops and treats parks like his bedroom, and you expect me to cut him loose so he can keep wandering and defying all over Los Angeles?" "Your Honor, he deserves fair bail," Alex protested faintly. "Rights belong to taxpayers who build society, Mr. Donovan," Hart growled, her voice sinking low. Not leeches like Mr. Reed who suck it dry. The racial undertone choked the air like smoke. James Reed spoke up again, steady and unafraid. So, adding value to society is required for fairness, Your Honor? The room fell dead quiet. Judge Hart's cheeks flushed purple. You challenging me, boy? That sound like contempt? Just posing a question, ma'am, he replied, eyes locked on hers. Ma'am, she screeched, call me Your Honor, Bailiff Harlan. Yes, Judge. I hold this wanderer in contempt, and for the main charges, bails $50,000. Gasps rippled through the observers. Alex Donovan's mouth hung open. $50,000, Your Honor? That's outrageous for trespassing. You just fined a guy who could have killed someone. You want contempt too, Mr. Donovan? Hart hissed. One more peep and you're sanctioned. Mr. Reed, you're headed to county lockup till you post bond or trial, whichever hits first. And with that lip, I'll push the trial as far as possible. Get him gone. Bailiff Harlan clamped onto James Reed's arm with extra force. Move it, drifter. As he was dragged off, James glanced back at Judge Evelyn Hart. No rage, no fear, just committing her to memory. When the door thudded shut, Judge Hart grinned, savoring the rush of control reclaimed. She'd tossed another bit of garbage where it fit. The county jail's holding cell was a stark cement cube reeking of bleach, body odor, and hopelessness. James Reed, or as the world knew him, FBI Director Ethan Cole, perched on a skimpy mattress, taking stock. This wasn't impulse. It capped Operation Justice Shield, a joint probe into Judge Evelyn Hart. It kicked off with a tip from a scared ex-court clerk named Sophia Ramirez. She'd handed the FBI a pile of papers revealing a trend. Justice under review. Subscribe now and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss our latest stories. To select firms or builders, saw charges vanish. The cash flow was tangled, washed through dummy companies and court funds. The FBI's money crimes team, headed by Agent Donovan, tracked the funds, but proving civil rights abuses was tougher. Hart was sly. Her bias hid behind legalese like priors, vagrancy, and contempt. The mission needed that clincher, to show beyond doubt that Hart's venom was raw, that she'd twist the law from pure prejudice. You're nuts, Director, Agent Hayes, his right-hand man, had pushed back in the ops van parked nearby. Posing as a drifter yourself? What if they pat you down, spot your ID? They won't, Ethan had insisted, slipping into the ragged jacket. All my gear's with you. I'm clean. We need her raw. We need the inside feel. We need audio. He had a minuscule high-tech recorder, tiny as rice, embedded in his ear, a deep cover failsafe. Activated by a tooth click, it beamed live to Agent Hayes. A key jangled. Bailiff Harlan loomed, smirking viciously. Special guest for you, Reed, Harlan taunted, backed by two stone-faced guards. The judge hates lip. She phoned ahead for the VIP treatment. Ethan rose carefully. And that includes? Learning your spot. Harlan's first swing landed square in the gut, knocking Ethan's wind out. The guards followed, one to the side, one to the jaw. Ethan, expert in close combat, forced himself to absorb it, crumple convincingly, not dismantle them in seconds. He hit the floor, blood on his tongue. That's the opener, Harlan huffed, fixing his belt. Zip that mouth. Maybe you'll reach trial. Or not. Mishaps occur. He booted Ethan's ribs one last time, and they sauntered off, chuckling. Ethan sprawled on the chill floor, body throbbing. He clicked his teeth twice, cueing Hayes. Proof in hand. He'd been spot on. This evil demanded living it, not skimming reports. Next, Ethan was hauled back to court for morning hearings, chained in the jury area with fellow detainees. He was the exhibit, the caution. Hart wanted others to witness the price of defiance. She was grilling Jamal Harris, a young black teen caught with a controlled substance. "Mr. Harris," Hart cooed with phony pity, "grave charge, and I note a prior resisting arrest." "But I didn't resist," Jamal cracked, voice breaking. "The officer, he—" "Spare me the stories, Mr. Harris," Hart cut in. "Narcotics on you, history of defiance. This town won't stand it. Mandatory minimum, 3 years in state pen." The boy's mom, in the rear, choked back a cry. 3 years for a tiny bit of weed? He's decent. The other charge was bogus. "Eject her," Hart snapped. As Jamal was escorted out, his gaze met Ethan's. In it, Ethan saw dreams dying live. He clicked his teeth. "Agent Hayes, grab Jamal Harris's file. I want that arresting officer's name, who he chats with, who pays him. Bet it's Harlan." Hart, buzzing from her power play, eyed Ethan. "Ah, Mr. Reed, round 2. Hope the dig suited you. Mr. Donovan, any luck on that $50,000 bond?" "Your Honor, you know it's undoable," Alex quivered with fury. "This is punishment, pure cruelty." "It's fairness," Hart shot back. "And for your client, I've tacked on vagrancy and public nuisance intent. A few more nights might teach respect." She smacked the gavel, smirking grimly. Next. Ethan endured the grind longer. He choked down bland slop, absorbed the guards' everyday brutality, chatted with cellmates, and pieced intel. From a blockmate, he learned Bailiff Harlan orchestrated a commissary scam via a key guard. He discovered Officer Grady was Harlan's kin. Family racket. Jamal Harris's prior resisting came from Grady too. A frame job. Grady targeted young black men, stopped them baselessly, added resisting if they queried, priming them for Hart's hammer. In the ops van, Agent Hayes and Agent Lee hustled. "He nailed it," Hayes said, staring at a finance graph. "Jamal's bust. Grady, Harlan." Soon after Jamal's sentencing, $2,000 flowed from a cop fund, a slush pot, to Harlan's spouse. "It's filthier," Agent Lee added, typing. "Squeeze the bank guy for builder Mr. Weston. He caved. Hart's not just pocketing bribes to free kids. She's steering arrests." "What?" Hayes spun, shocked. "Broken windows ploy. She takes donations from a builder like Blake Weston's dad to her fund. In swap, she cues Grady and Harlan to tidy areas for his upscale builds. That means nabbing homeless, loitering kids, anyone scruffy, like James Reed. Weston boosts property worth, she pockets fat. And jails the FBI boss along the way," Hayes muttered, head in hands. "Beyond graft, this is tyranny." "Weston's kid's in court now," Lee noted. "Blake Weston, DUI kill. He mowed down a biker. Let's tune in." Courtroom 3B felt subdued, deferential. Blake Weston, a haughtier clone of Ryan Thompson, faced the stand with Slick Ellis. Judge Hart's voice turned grave, almost nurturing. "Mr. Weston, what a heartbreaking mishap," she said. "It is, Your Honor," Ellis slid in. "My client's wrecked, but facts, which prosecution concedes, prove accident. The biker, Mr. Ellis, veered sudden. Client's BAC hit the edge of legal. Justice under review. Subscribe now and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss our latest stories." Ethan, in the detainee spot, watched the deceit spin. Real docs his crew had showed BAC way over, plus speeding in a slow zone. "Yes, I see," Hart murmured. Prosecution amends from manslaughter to reckless drive and yield fail. Given factors and victim's fault. She rapped the gavel. "Dismissed on $10,000 fine. Mr. Weston, go free. Drive safe ahead." The dad, A hefty guy in an expensive suit up front dipped his head at Hart, a mute mega-thanks. Hart, glowing from her deed, pivoted to the detainee area. "Now the trash. Bailiff, fetch Mr. Reed. Plea deal for him." Alex Donovan, who'd gaped at Weston's free pass in shock, dashed up as Ethan was presented. "Mr. Donovan," Hart said, "prosecutors dropping contempt and vagrancy if your client cops to trespass and resist. Sentence, 18 months county." 18 months? Alex gasped. "For loitering? Madness. No plea. Jury trial." "Trial?" Hart cackled. "Okay, but bail stays $50,000 and I preside. Remind you, max for these stacked post-wasted trial time hits 5 years. 18 months is mercy," she faced Ethan. "Well, Mr. Reed, smart or stubborn? Grab it. Best you'll snag." "No," Ethan stated, voice dropping the rasp, now sharp, icy, firm. "No?" Hart's features shadowed. "I pass on the deal," Ethan said, "and skip jury trial." "Fool," Hart yelled, pounding the desk. "You'll waste away. Contempt again. Extra 30 days. I'll pile 'em till your bones." "You won't pile anything, Judge," Ethan declared, straightening tall. The slumped, beaten stance vanished. "What?" Hart hissed, eyes blazing. "I said," Ethan echoed, tone commanding, "your bench days end now. Bailiff Harlan, hands on the podium, slow." "Who do you think you are?" Harlan growled, advancing, baton in reach. "I'm the guy with tape of your welcome package to a detainee, plus that $2,000 payoff for Jamal Harris's phony rap, and that Cayman offshore for commissary cash, account 47 B992. Harlan halted, face ashen. Judge Hart's mind reeled. "What's this drivel?" "This," Ethan said, "is where you hush." He turned his head, clicked teeth. "Agent Hayes, green light, roll." His words hung when the main doors blasted in, crashing walls. A swarm of black-geared agents stormed, backs blaring FBI in white. The room exploded in chaos. Tip-off reporters from Agent Lee's nudge popped cameras. Alex Donovan reeled back, hand over lips. Blake Weston and Dad froze in seats. "Freeze!" Agent Hayes bellowed, gun low ready. Agents split. 2 cuffed stunned Harlan, no fight. 2 nabbed Officer Grady at prosecution spot, watching his mess. Judge Evelyn Hart leaped up, face twisted in fury and bewilderment. "What's this mean? My court! I'm an Article 3 judge. No power here. I'll ruin you all." Ethan Cole unzipped his orange suit, taped to his torso, waterproof pouch. He ripped it, flashed creds and badge. He crossed the bar, the divide of law from folk, and slapped them on her bench ledge. "Judge Evelyn Hart," he boomed, voice thundering sans mic. "I'm not James Reed. I'm Director Ethan Cole, Federal Bureau of Investigation." The badge shone under lights. If noisy before, now pin-drop hush, fluorescent buzz audible. Hart gawked at the badge, the drifter, no, director, before her, agents arrayed in her domain. Her brain snapped. "No," she breathed. "Lie, trick, he's trash." "The trash you tried 18 months for loitering," Ethan fixed. "The drifter your bailiff pummeled in lockup. The scum you brushed off." He spun to Agent Hayes. "Wrapped?" "Yes, sir. Agent Lee's hitting warrants on the bank guy, 3 Ellis partners, and freezing all Hart's assets, fund and Cayman." "Solid," Ethan faced Hart, who'd sunk into her throne. No despot now, just a frail, ashy elder. "Agatha Hart, wait, Evelyn Hart," Ethan intoned formally. "Arrested for Title 18, Section 242, rights deprivation under law color. Racketeering, Section 1961, conspiracy, laundering, justice block." He nodded Hayes. Cuff her." "You can't," Hart whined as Hayes and another ascended. "Judicial shield." "No shield here," Ethan said. "None for crime syndicate. None for life wrecking. You weren't judge. You were robed kingpin." Cuffs clicked, echoing like her gavel, but final. "You framed me," she wailed as hauled up, wrists bound. "Entrapment." "Entrapment's gov nudge to crime unwilling," Ethan said. "Did I nudge your instant hate? Your illegal bail? Your ordered beating? Or did you choose seeing my face, deeming me worthless?" He didn't linger for reply. Pointed front, Agent Hayes nabbed Blake Weston and Dad. Bribery charge, state official, jurisdiction later. Ellis, too, accomplice. As Hart was marched, sobbing and raging from her perch, she passed the man she'd sought to break. "You'll regret," she shrieked. Ethan met her eyes. "No, Judge, you'll pay. First time ever, accountable." Fallout hit hard and fast. Courthouse sealed by marshals. Press, expecting minor dirt, caught the bust of ages. Ethan Cole, still in grimy tee and suit, stood amid turmoil, victor on conquered ground. "Sir," Agent Hayes said, passing sat phone. "AG on 1, Ethan grabbed. "Mr. Attorney General." "Yes, done." Rot ran deep. "She's cuffed." "No, fine. A bit bruised." Listened. "Agreed. Audit every Hart case. Civil rights team here stat." He clicked off, scanned stunned faces, attorneys, staff, media, mix of dread and wonder. Spotted Alex Donovan, public defender, against wall, tears flowing. Ethan approached. He recoiled. "Mr. Donovan," Ethan softened. "Director Cole," he murmured. "Justice under review. Subscribe now and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss our latest stories." "No clue. I tried." She was ironclad. "You did your bit," Ethan said. "Sole voice for me, for Jamal Harris." "Wasn't enough." "Is now." Ethan passed card from pouch. "Team needs statement. More, your aid. You know victims, files, task force to scan every non-violent Hart conviction last decade. Help co-lead." Alex eyed card. "Me? But I'm—" "Solid lawyer, Mr. Donovan. Just needed unbroken court. Join the fresh one." He left, headed to courtroom holding. Had marshals unlock where detainees, including Jamal, waited post-raid. Jamal glanced up, scared, as FBI head in prisoner garb stood. "Jamal Harris," Ethan said. "I'm Ethan Cole." "I know," Jamal said. "Saw." "Charges dropped. All. Prior wiped. Officer Grady's no cop. Criminal. Headed in." Jamal gaped, uncomprehending. "Your mom's out. Go home." Jamal rose, eyes misty, walked past, paused. "Why you? Could've—" "If system hits FBI director like this," Ethan said, "had to uncover for all, reclaim your life." As Jamal dashed to Mom, Agent Lee neared, tablet ready. "Sir, worse than guessed. Bank guys spilled." Hart sold sentences, literal list, 5K dismiss, 10 reduced, 50K felony erase, and surcharge for minority folks. "What?" Ethan's veins iced. "Admin fee," she dubbed. "Black or Hispanic, bribe 20% up. Said justification harder. Sir, she cashed her bias." Ethan shut eyes, the cold calculation stunned. "Where's she?" "Fed hold downtown, yelling for lawyer. About to find Ellis next cell." "Good," Ethan said. "Clean up, then interrogation. Long chat on that list." Proceedings against Evelyn Hart and crew were fierce, unrelenting. U.S. Attorney, DOJ-backed, hammered her. Assets stripped, she got court defender, humiliation-topping charges. She posed victim, political target, deep state plot. Accused Cole of plants, entrapment, rights breach. But proof overwhelmed. Audio first, Court heard crystal. Ethan as reed polite, Hart venom-laced, bias raw. Folks like you drain resources, contempt till skeleton, then beating tape, jury endured thuds, Harlan's judge hates lip. Harlan and guards pled, testified against her for leniency. Then cash. Agent Lee's chart, circuit-like, traced funds from Weston. Builders, firms to fund, offshore wash, her luxuries. Beach pad, fancy ride, wine hoard. Testimony sealed. Sophia Ramirez on firing, threats. Alex Donovan, bold now, detailed Hart's fear reign. Then victims' kin, parents, sibs of Jamal likes, lives shattered by Hart's tainted biased rule. Trial wrapped quick, jury out brief. Evelyn Hart guilty all 47 counts, sentencing jammed. Ethan Cole front row suited sharp, not victim, but system rep she'd nearly cracked. New Fed judge, stern Robert Hargrove, eyed Hart. Evelyn Hart, your crimes gut our democracy's core. Judge guards Constitution. You made it paywall. Didn't break law. You were law, fueling greed, bias. Hart, orange-clad, tried speak. Quiet, Hargrove thundered. You ignored pleas from families you doomed. Ignored bribes freeing rich guilty. Your silence turn, papers rustled. Your style, mine's mandatory, max terms, examples. I'll mirror. Racketeering, conspiracy, 30 years. Laundering, 20. 40 civil rights deprives, 10 each. Consecutive, not concurrent. Gallery math whiz gasped. 450 years. Life, Hargrove affirmed, merciful, to supermax, not cushy spot. Rest of days in cell like you doled. No sway, no pull, you vanish, blight erased. As lead screaming, her eyes hit Ethan's. No gloat from him, just steady stare, proof justice. Slow but sure, pulverized her. Day post Hart's cuffed exit. City didn't cheer. It gasped. Busting a judge mid-court wasn't news. It quaked justice's base. Public stood in debris, questioning what endured. For Director Ethan Cole, arrest launched the fight. First, command hub, not FBI office, but tainted courthouse. Seized top-floor suite overlooking LA she'd ruled. Hours in, Justice Shield HQ, walls mapped bribes, pics, lines like invasion plan. Center, Alex Donovan, sleepless but alive, eyes keen, shakes gone. No timid defender, he tore down the veil. Check this, he said, tapping file. Ethan, Hayes neared. Slim dossier, overlooked. Carlos Mendoza, arrested, charge, busted taillight, resist arrest. Officer Grady again. Again, Hayes noted flatly. But transcript, Hart asks plea. He says not guilty, no cash for lawyer or bail. She contempts him, again for asking meaning, stacked till taillight became half-year stretch. Worse, he pointed prosecutor's note. Held him, then re-offered time served for guilty resist plea. He bit to escape, now felon for taillight, lost gig, home. Wife, kids fled to Texas, life nuked. How many? Ethan rumbled. Flagged over 2,000 like, Agent Lee from station. Non-violent minorities, sky-high terms, mostly public defenders. Overloaded, couldn't push. Not just bigot, Alex slammed file. Predator, hit weak, knew no backlash. Had allies, Ethan said, to Wall. Pointed suit guy's photo at cop gala. Queen with court, chat the fool. DA William Beaumont prided on slipperiness. Paul, system beast. Right donations, parties, prosecutions. FBI chat summon, came lawyered, puffed outrage, shown to interrogation, not confab. Ethan waited in tea, jeans from under jumpsuit. No suit yet. Remind of Cell Man. Director Cole, Beaumont launched. Travesty. Hart Rogue. Lone Wolf. My Office. Stow it. Ethan slid paper. Email print. Your sign-off? Beaumont's lawyer scanned. Face drained. Context missing, he stuttered. Read loud, Agent Hayes. Hayes did. Deadpan. To ADA's Re-Weston Project. Backing Mayor's revamp. Note Judge Hart firm on vagrancy. Nuisance to speed. Clear docket. Priority, please. No overfight. Arm her for district clean. Rack wins. Arm her. Wins. Ethan leaned. Jamal Harris a win, William? Carlos Mendoza? Efficiency push. No crime, Beaumont whined. This is, Ethan nodded Lee, who dropped thick book. Slush fund you, Hart ran. Cop benevolent Grady. Harlan deposits. Your consult pulls. Not follower, William. Gatekeeper. Buried evidence. Told ADA's back off. She needed you. Beaumont's bluff crumbled. Weak hid behind strong woman. Now vanished. I'll spill, eyes panicked. Lawyers, builders, Ellis, all. Everything. You will, Ethan said. Court confession to every wrecked life. Then 20 years. DA should have known cost. Dam's first crack. Jamal Harris free. Justice under review. Subscribe now and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss our latest stories. Believed seeing. Alex Donovan sat with Styrofoam Joe. Soon, Aisha, judge signed AM. New judge, Aisha spat. Old one rot. Gate buzzed. Usually intake. Scraped wide. Jamal stood, squinting sun. No jumpsuit. Arrest clothes, tossed scornfully. Thin, pale, spooked. Saw Mom. Mama, voice splinter. Aisha walked, knees weak, collapsed into him, sobs ringing. My boy back, my boy, Jamal wept, face in shoulder. Thought lost, thought done. Alex stepped, eyes damp. Jamal, Alex, your defender in court. Jamal eyed wary. Over Jamal, Alex firm. Really, charges vapor, prior gone, clean slate, handed card. Task force line, victim fund setup. Can't repay time, but rest yes. Jamal stared card, glanced Mom, Alex, Sunny Street. Stepped out, another, beyond gate, real. As they clung, walking like storm-tossed, Ethan watched from unmarked ride down block. One, Agent Hayes said, driver's seat. One, Ethan echoed. 1999 left. Wealthy's karma chilled different. Blake Weston, dad. Assets iced same as Hart. Lawyer hoard from Ellis's sunk firm faced own raps. Forced pleas they'd bought to dodge. Before Judge Hargrove, who'd nailed Hart, they ghosted. Fancy suits swapped for cheap arrogance for dread. Mr. Weston Sr., Hargrove rang contempt. Builder meant to uplift L.A. Instead, condos on misery piles. Paid Hart to clean hoods by jailing poor, homeless, black. Not bribe, funded terror. I'm broke, Dad whispered. All taken. Nothing taken, Hargrove boomed. Seized crime gains. No victim, you co-plotter. And you, Blake, killed with car, Dad's dirty cash freed you scratchless. Ends. Sentence you, Senior. 15 years fed for conspiracy, racketeering, assets gone. You, Blake, 25 for reinstated DUI manslaughter, bribe roll. Money classed you above. Wrong, common crook, out. Led away, Dad glanced gallery for savior. None. City, once stamped with his name on towers, hospitals, erased him. Toughest karma saved for Evelyn Hart. No soft minsec. Crimes, law savvy deemed high risk. Bus shackled wrists, ankles, to ADX Florence, Colorado Supermax for Fed's worst. Arrived, processed. Yellow line, guard barked. Ex-judge, Evelyn weak. Writes, warden now. Guard, burly impassive Hayes, clipboard up. Inmate 82291, right to zip, strip. Evelyn froze. What? Strip or I do. Showtime, judge. Humiliated, chilled, powerless, Evelyn endured invasive probe she'd meted thoughtlessly. Robes not, names stripped, rough orange issued, lead echoing hall, screams, bangs deafening. H-Unit, Hayes said, steel door. Special, 23-hour lock. Can't Jen pop, Evelyn panted, terror rising. They'll end me. I sent folks here. Shoulda thought, Hayes said, unlocked. Celly moved, she rough. Door slid, box cell, steel sink, bunks. Lower bunk, stocky tattooed woman, neck face inked, thumbed tattered book, looked up, eyes shark dead. This, Hayes smirked cruel. Big Rita, in for plenty, but runs Judge Justice inside. Sis got shafted by crooked bench in Chicago, died in, hates bent judges. Right, Rita? Big Rita silent, shut book, rose slow, towered over Evelyn. No, please, Evelyn backed. Oh, Hayes radio up. Break time. Wing soundproof, camera glitchy, shoved Evelyn in. Good life, inmate. Door slammed. Bolt clack. Last free sound Evelyn heard. Alone in gloom with karma's flesh form, debt from cruel life. Later, courtroom 3B reborn. Wood gleamed, lights warm, air hope-scented. New defendant, young Tyler Brooks, fidgeted at stand. Shoplifting. Seat, she said. Judge Alex Donovan, robed, confirmed. Eyed youth not scorn, but kind weariness. Mr. Brooks, file read. Struggles noted, job chat soon. Prosecutor says you lifted tie, soap. True? Yes, Your Honor, Tyler whispered, braced. DA suggests diversion, Alex said, to fresh prosecutor. Concur, dismiss if 40 community hours plus twist. Back glance. Admin Sophia Ramirez mentors you. Resume help, clothing bank suit. No steal for work look. Sophia, Sparkstarter ex-clerk, rose, warm grin. Post-court, kid. Fix you. Tyler eyed Sophia, Judge Donovan, wide with unnamed spark. Hope. Thanks, Your Honor. Welcome, Mr. Brooks, Alex said. Shine, gavel crisp. Justice ring, not dread. From rear shadows, Ethan Cole observed. System he'd cracked mending, led by ex-victims. Slipped out unseen, met Hayes on steps. Sun dipped, gilding L.A. Done, Hayes said. Roth 2000 force closed last. Carlos Mendoza. Pardon, 7-figure payout. Good, Ethan said, city gazing. Survivors Club now, Hayes smiled faint. Jamal trades, Sophia council run. New DA hit Grady's whole squad. We cleaned, Ethan corrected. Not end. Another heart lurks. System on greed, bias. But not this, Hayes said. Here, now. No, Ethan agreed. Not this. Shades on, fading light. Home, Hayes? Work waits. Next one's wondering on late payoffs. Justice under review. Down steps. Subscribe not victim now and drifter, turn on notifications but protector to make sure you never forgotten miss our latest stories. To warn mighty. None above law, not judge. And karma? Sometimes badged. Ultimately, one man's dive into corruption's gut toppled a biased realm. Judge Hart thought herself law, forgot none escapes, not judge, builder, bent cop. Justice's harsh karma claimed her via man she aimed to smash. Prejudice empire raised, innocents' lives mended. Reminder, justice battle rages daily dot. In the solemn hush of a Los Angeles courtroom, Judge Evelyn Hart glared down at the ragged black man standing before her. James Reed, dressed in a wrinkled tee and ripped jeans, was charged with nothing more than lingering in a park after dark and questioning his arrest. To Judge Hart, he was worthless, a jobless drifter, a leech on society who didn't deserve fairness. She mocked his appearance, ridiculed his lack of a fixed home, and slammed him with an outrageous $50,000 bail, plus extra contempt charges simply because he dared to speak with quiet dignity. "Rights belong to taxpayers," she sneered, her voice dripping with racial contempt. "Not leeches like Mr. Reed." Her gavel cracked like a weapon, sealing what she believed was another easy victory for her twisted empire of bias and bribes. But James Reed was no ordinary defendant. He was FBI Director Ethan Cole, deep undercover in Operation Justice Shield to expose the very corruption rotting the courthouse. Every prejudiced word, every illegal order, every brutal beating ordered by Hart's loyal bailiff had been captured on a tiny, hidden recorder. When Hart pushed for an 18-month sentence and tried to break him completely, Ethan stood tall, shed the drifter disguise, and revealed his badge. Federal agents stormed the courtroom. Judge Evelyn Hart, the woman who had weaponized justice against the vulnerable, was arrested on the spot for civil rights violations, racketeering, bribery, and evidence tampering. Her empire of cash for leniency schemes and racially motivated harsh sentences crumbled in real time. Dozens of wrongful convictions were overturned. Lives destroyed by her prejudice began to heal. This gripping story delivers one of life's most profound and deeply emotional lessons. Asterisk, asterisk. Never let prejudice convince you that any person is beneath justice or unworthy of basic dignity, because the one you mock and try to crush today may be the very hand that delivers the reckoning you so richly deserve. Asterisk, asterisk. Judge Hart saw only skin color and poverty. She never imagined the quiet man she belittled held the power, evidence, and moral authority to topple her entire corrupt world. The tale reminds us that true strength often wears simple clothes and speaks with calm resolve. Life will sometimes place you before someone who judges you harshly based on appearance, background, or stereotypes. In those painful moments, remember Ethan Cole. Hold your head high, speak your truth with dignity, and trust that justice, though it may move slowly, has a way of revealing hidden heroes and balancing the scales with poetic precision. Arrogance builds fragile thrones. Integrity and courage build legacies that endure. No one is truly above the law, and no one is truly beneath its protection. If this powerful story of hidden strength, systemic injustice, and the quiet triumph of truth touched your heart, if it reminded you never to judge too quickly or give up when the system feels stacked against you, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever been underestimated or witnessed prejudice that later led to an incredible reversal? Your story could give hope to someone feeling invisible right now. If you love emotional, inspiring life lessons wrapped in gripping courtroom drama, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next powerful tale. Let's grow this community together and keep reminding the world that dignity belongs to everyone and justice can rise from the most unexpected places. Thank you for watching. Your support means everything. See you in the next inspiring story. 312 words. Justice under review. Subscribe now and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss our latest stories.